Hey there folks, the #1 Action Bronson fan from the Infinite Jukebox, here with another album review, and today I want to talk about the new Action Bronson record, Johann Sebastian Bachlava, The Doctor. Action Bronson has been on kind of a roll for the past few years, which is something that I think a lot of people never really thought they would say a handful of years ago, but with 2020's Only for Dolphins, he proved that he was capable of making a consistent record worth returning to over time, and with 2022's Cocodrillo Turbo, he continued that trend and has managed to actually surpass a lot of people, including myself's expectations of him in regards to making a quality full-length LP. And now here we are with his latest studio album, Johann Sebastian Bachlava, The Doctor, and all of the strengths that made his previous two records as good as they are/were are present here once again, making for a record that may not be super impressive for people who are looking for something entirely new from him, but for those that can appreciate his entire shtick and style, there's definitely a lot to enjoy here. Bronson is rightfully most famous and most beloved for his lyrical style, his very unique lyrical game, shall we say, which is my light way of calling him one of the most absolutely deranged songwriters within rap at large right now. I mean, you have lines scattered throughout this record like, woke up next to the motherfucker from Planet of the Apes, beat the pussy up until it looks like one of Satchel Paige's baseball mitts, and of course, one of my absolute favorite lines, not only in this record, but in the entire Action Bronson catalog, I'm sicker than Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, of course, being a classic Tom Hanks film where he plays a man dying of AIDS. What makes a man say these things? What compels Action Bronson to say the words that he says? Look, I'll be completely honest, Action Bronson's very intensely odd lyrical style will not be for everyone to be certain, and I do think there could be an argument made that his esoteric style becomes maybe just a bit too much for its own good from time to time overall, but I still can't help but find him funny, and I can't help but find him engaging throughout the record. Maybe it's just the man's confidence, or maybe it's a pretty short runtime that ensures his more absurd lyrical qualities don't overstay their welcome, but as a whole, Action Bronson really manages to sell everything that he's saying on here, even when it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, allowing him to turn another rapper's worst bars into some of his best and funniest. The guy has nothing but punchlines here, arguably his most comedic record to date, and I mean that in the best way possible. And if you are a returning listener, then all of the references to baseball and wrestling, among other things that you would expect from him at this point, still present here on this record. As a whole, just a lyrically very well-made album, even if there are a time or two where things maybe get a bit too abstract for my liking, at least. The beats here are generally pretty great too, having this kind of airy feel to them, some sort of jazz-like tendencies, jazz fusion-like tendencies, but nonetheless leaning towards the darker tones that The Alchemist and Derringer, the two producers behind this record, are more heavily known for between the two of them, and as two modern production icons, they both pretty much kill it here for the most part. It's honestly really impressive, some of the instrumentals here, and not only that, but they suit Bronson as a rapper shockingly well at times. It's really nice to see two production legends working with an artist who, despite being active for quite some time at this point, is just finally starting to kind of find his own niche and really find his own style. It's a cool thing to see. Honestly, as a whole, Johann Sebastian Bachlava, The Doctor, it pretty much perfectly manages to demonstrate what makes Bronson such an interesting figure within rap right now as a whole. I mean, it manages to demonstrate why his recent releases are as well liked as they are, between his extremely confident delivery, his generally pretty funny to at times pretty intense and extremely unique lyrical style, some great production to boot. I mean, the record is a bit short, and it may not be the grand achievement of hip-hop in 2024, but it is an extremely good album, and I highly recommend it if you want to hear one of the most interesting yapping sessions of the past couple of months. I mean, I have no clue what this man's talking about half the time, but I am here to listen 100% of the time, trust me. I'm going to give this record 3.5 stars out of 5. And with that being said, that's the end of this album review. Thank you for watching the Infinite Jukebox, and I'll see you in the next one.